Alice Cooper pre-show we did we had like a little food truck fest. That was pretty cool, but it was like October. It was getting pretty chilly.
Did you get the interview him?
No, I wish. I remember Geary came down after they did load in. He was talking about how their stage was hollow, so they could get through to the other end by like crawling down there.
That's cool.
All right. TST episode 79. Back here with Tim McCormick. He brought in some fresh faces to TST. We have Adrian Niles and Logan Seidler. Thank you guys for coming in. Really happy to get you guys in.
Thanks for
having us.
And like I was saying, the day before Tim set this up, Novotny hit me up and said, you have to get Adrian in. I think it was like last week or the week before. I think you were on his show, and I hurried up and tuned in and caught the tail end.
Yeah.
So what is new? What shows we got coming up, guys? And how's this summer been? How's this past concert season?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Done some private parties, which have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. And then we've done some like good cool little shows. We did like a Jurgles show, which was great. This guy, you got to check him out. Indigenous is the band.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, I wanted to come up. So I can't remember, something happened. I couldn't come up that day.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
I watched the videos like Pam and everybody was putting up live, and I was just like, man, I wanted to be there. It was so cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool venue. I hadn't been there before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jurgles.
It was the first time in Jurgles?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Who did I see? Oh, this one drive me crazy. It might have been Rat, I think, was there like a couple years ago. I saw them. It wasn't like Stephen Piercy's, right? I think there's 3 different versions of them depending on what band members you're getting. But I wish there was a venue like Jurgles around here. Just like
it's pretty close, man. It's like an hour.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Warrendale, yeah. It's not far.
Yeah.
I've seen 7 or 8 shows there. I like it.
I always look at the Staffelinas and Martins Ferry. I'm like, this could be the next, like the highest side of Jurgles.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the balcony area is real cool. That's a good vantage point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a venue down in Fort Lauderdale when I was working the ships that had the vantage balcony point. Now that's where I always went. Everybody's like, "Why are you always upstairs?" I'm like, "Dude, you see so much more up top than you realize what's actually happening on a stage." You know?
Yeah.
For sure.
The last time I was at Jurgles, there was a country female singer that my wife loves, and then I just ruined the concert for her because I was like, they're playing the tracks, right? Because they have. Because this light rig is like hooked up to this. I was like giving her the lowdown. She's like, why do you have to do this? Every single concert we get to.
Have you been given the shut up or you can leave?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where we're at now, me and my wife. She's like, just shut up and enjoy the concert. I don't want to hear it.
It's not easy to turn that off. It's
in any size production too. I saw the Offspring when they came to Stage AE the summer before last, and it's like everybody thought I was having a bad time because I was just looking around with my RBF trying to find out, okay, what's all the inner workings of this production. So what concerts we got coming up? What are you looking forward to?
Blues Fest.
Blues Fest, yes.
Yeah, it'll be second stage Blues Fest. Second stage is cool because you get to like play a little 25-minute set, and then you get to interact, mingle with some people.
Yeah.
It's on that grassy little area, and you just chill out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we make the announcement here about
But I'm looking forward to having him there because I'm running the stage this year, so it's gonna be fun. Me and Jan Dykstra are gonna run the stage, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. And Adrian, I was like, man, they need to have Adrian. And then when I finally found out that you were playing side stage, I was like, yeah, your new stuff is fire.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we 20 years ago, I was the first person to play Blues Fest.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was.
I was there.
Really?
There was 5 people there.
Yeah.
And it was like a Friday afternoon.
And it was down the waterfront?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who was in that band at the time?
It wasn't a band. It was me and this other guy playing harp. But
okay.
yeah, Michael Hawk. I haven't seen him in years, but I don't know if he still plays harmonica or not. Do you know?
Yeah, I know Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
And Billy played the side stage too. Billy the Kid, Billy Evanechko from up in Pittsburgh. Billy Kid, the Regulators.
Oh, okay.
There's like pictures you guys like. You really didn't even have like a stage for that first time when they had a side stage.
No,
it was like
this was main stage. We were
played main stage.
There was no side.
Well, there was a side stage. I remember you playing one year that was like there's some pictures I can find of you and Billy that were like, they put you on a side stage, and it was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't really a side stage. So you played
Yeah, I
main
don't-
stage.
Yeah,
The first year,
Yeah, the
okay.
first time. Yeah, the first year.
I was there the first year. And,
No, I'm talking like the first. I mean, I don't know. It was like Friday afternoon,
okay.
and it might have been lunch.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
I wasn't there. I wasn't there until way later.
There was like 5 people there, and all these seats set up, and I'm just thinking, wow, man, like maybe they're gonna be a big crowd later, you know. And Bruce did, man. He turned it into something really great. Did a great
So
job
the
with it.
first one, the headliner I remember was Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, what? Okay.
And Joe played, but it poured down rain, and everybody ran to River City to get away from the rain, and then everybody came back. So yeah, he probably did. Yeah, I wasn't there, so I'm sorry. I forget that. That'd have been terrible at noon with 5 people.
I've been around Wheeling a long time. I've seen a lot of wild shit, you know, and like seen the beginnings of a lot of things, and have been a part of the beginnings of a lot of things. And it's just really cool to see how everything has progressed so much
Right.
over the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
and
it's
grown
great that
into,
it's
like,
still going.
some new stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Exponentially too, the last like 2 years, I would say too. Everybody's really trying to. What's nice is everybody's really trying to push original music too, which
Yeah,
I really
finally,
didn't. I
finally.
really did
Yeah.
not see that.
Yeah, we were
at
talking
all.
about that a good bit yesterday at the Arts Fest, which shout out to the Arts Fest. It was great.
Yeah.
John Banco, I think, booked us for that, so
Yeah.
appreciate him. And all like the Cultural Bureau, all those guys, they put on a real good event.
Hmm.
Definitely dedicated to the,
Yeah,
the original stuff, which is good.
and I was gonna say like when I started playing, it's about 15 years ago. You would have like in this area, you would have like one band that came out with an album, and that would be like the only local album for that whole summer. And now it seems like everybody is constantly pushing stuff.
Right.
There's
It's so nice.
quite a scene of all genres now too. It's not
Yeah.
just
Right.
one genre. I mean,
Yeah.
we're getting it all now, which
Yeah.
is great.
And
Yeah.
many thanks to Waterfront Hall too for opening that up to all genres. Because if it wasn't bro country for a while, you were not getting booked for a lot of places in here.
Yeah.
Right.
Generations.
Yeah.
I remember we did a record in '98, our first record, and we did a CD release party at River City, and it was like that's when River City was just fresh, man.
Right?
Like they were just.
Was that when they were still brewing beer and everything?
Yeah, they were
Okay.
brewing beer. Yeah.
What
yeah.
record was that?
Monument.
Not the first. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then Matt Husel, you know, he was always making. So, I mean, there was some underground stuff happening. There was some little things happening, but it's become like more in the forefront. More people are talking about it now.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just like a few bands here and there. Me and Matt and like Humble Sacrifice. Did you?
Yeah, Humble
those
Sacrifice.
guys?
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
Humble
yeah.
Sacrifice, and there was Mush Cup out of Pittsburgh that used to come down and play because like the only active places then were like the Office, J-Bo's, and
The Office.
down on Main Street. Yeah,
No, down on Main. Yeah, kind of down on
Yeah.
Main. It came later, but
there wasn't much back then.
no, it wasn't. much.
J-Bo's was kind of like the mainstay for
Whatever
everything.
hold-
And
whatever
then the
you
Office
hold
Lounge
the
was
vibe.
this like dark, dirty dive. Like
Yeah.
the soundboard was in another room from the stage. I
Well,
kid you not.
at the beginning, it was a shotgun bar, and it was like Hack would always run sound from like kind of back in the back by the bathrooms or whatever. And then it was like the stage was right in that front window. And then Skip opened up that other side.
Yep.
And they put the bands over there, and it was always kind of a bummer because it was cool, like when it was just like a little
Right.
place, and then everybody would pack in and get hot and sweaty and everything. Then he opened up the other side, and it was like then it started to be like a thing where people would like either hang out at the bar or come
Or
see
go
the
check
band.
out the music. Yeah.
And it kind of was like.
For a sound guy, it sucked because the soundboard was in the other room.
That's
So you had
it.
to walk in the room,
That's
take a listen,
wild.
walk back over, make your adjustment, walk back in. It was
Oh
terrible.
man, I never got to experience J-Bo's.
That was
And-
Office Lounge, but J-Bo's.
Oh, okay,
We
okay,
were
that was
talking about
awesome.
the Office Lounge,
Okay. When people talk to me about J-Bo's, I get the same feeling as when like my mom talks to me about the swing club and like 10 Pin Alley. Like I know I missed out on a lot, like different floors of different genres of
I
music.
feel the same way. 'Cause
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I remember we
never
had a
been in.
rehearsal one night. I was with Reverend Schmee and the Backsliders. That was the band then.
Mm-hmm.
We had a rehearsal one night, and our drummer Paul Harkins, he's like, "Hey, I got this club we can play. My buddy Jay owns this bar." And so so me and him went there after rehearsal because I drove him home that night or whatever. So we stopped at J-Bo's, and he's like, "Hey Jay, man, why don't you let us play here?" And the place was beautiful inside. You walk in, it was like, it was a sports bar, man.
Yep.
He had TVs everywhere, and it was clean, and it was nice. And so he's like, "I don't know, man. We're like a sports bar. I don't know if we want to have music." And Paul's like, "Come on, man, just one night. Let us play one night." He goes, "How many people can you bring?" He goes, "We'll pack the place." So he's like, all right. So we played there on a Friday night and packed the place, man. There's all these people came, but that was a different time. There was no internet, there was no cell phones and shit like that. But I just remember that. I can never forget that. And then after that, it was all like music, 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 music. Jay just,
Yep.
built the stage. And,
Well, I mean, he did a great job with advertising, and
Yeah.
he had a good street team too. I mean, back then it was all about having a street team and posters and handbills
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all the stuff that
Yeah.
nowadays when you give somebody a handbill, they look at it like, what's that? It's like,
Yeah.
that was word of mouth back in the day.
Right,
We
yeah.
didn't
So
have Facebook.
different.
Yeah.
You know?
I credit Paul Harkins for creating that scene, like single-handedly.
That's awesome.
Because he talked him into it hardcore.
So do you feel like it was a lot easier to grab crowds before like the age of like technology? Because I know I could see like a lot of people's head being like, if I can just watch a concert on YouTube, why would I go out? Especially after COVID, when everybody was pretty much doing that.
It was a completely different time.
Yeah.
People went out to see faces and
Yeah.
intermingle with people and do drugs. And really, that's what it was. I mean, at
Copious
set break,
amounts of
everybody
pot.
was outside.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So it's just a completely different time than it is now. Now it's just like everything is so media centric, It's like you got to create this to create that and create. But back then, nobody thought about that kind of stuff. Like I said, I mean, you made albums, you made CDs, you took them to shows and you sold them. You had CD release parties, and people came and supported all that stuff. And so it's a lot different now. But
Yeah, the whole industry is very different.
Yeah. Nowadays you have to pay CD Baby to get your stuff out to everywhere, and
I mean, I'm talking before Napster.
yeah,
We
yeah.
were doing this before Napster, man. And then Napster came along, and and then Spotify and Apple Music, and I just,
There's been a little trend right now of bands pulling their music from Spotify. Just
It's been a little bit. I mean, look, unless you're way up there, you're not getting paid.
Right? No,
Right,
I
yeah.
support it.
yeah.
Definitely. It's
ridiculous.
noble.
I made $10 off Spotify one year.
Yeah.
Sell a record and make that.
Got a dozen eggs that
Yeah.
year.
Well, and that's just changed so much too, how musicians like yourself and even, national touring musicians, making money, it completely changed because that's people were selling physical media and that's how they were making money.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you don't make any money off your record because they're just streaming it. So like touring is one of the few options, and that's like pulling teeth trying to get booked,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
And then it's like to even like approach record labels anymore. The first thing they'll ask you is your following and your reach. That's the
It's
only
not
thing
even-
they.
It doesn't even make sense to
Yeah.
approach record label now. I mean,
Yeah.
record labels are out. Honestly, streaming is on its way out. I don't, I have my old stuff on the streaming stuff. I kind of look at that as like it's like an entombment. You know what I mean? Like I'm done with this project, so I'm gonna put it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, whatever. The new record, it's not on any of that stuff. I created my own record radio station, so I have all my music on the internet radio, and then so you can go to my website.
I was going to say, how do people get in on that?
AdrianNiles.com.
Okay.
Just go there and find the link, and then the new album streams on there. But it's more like
Nice.
radio. It's not like you can pick out a song and let's do it. Just kind of like whatever's kind of
That's
in
cool.
rotation.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just like not worth it at all. I mean, even if you got 1 million streams,
I
what
know.
are you making?
Right.
I mean, you might be able to maybe pay your used car off or something, $4,000 or something. But it's just it's all about, for me, it's all about just going to where the people are and playing for people, and if they like a song, they'll buy a record.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they want to be even more of a fan, like you have merch and just any
Yeah.
And that's really the way to do it, because you go to a show and I mean, if you can find one or two people that'll be your lifelong, to be fans for like the rest of like your career, that's where it's
Or
at.
just the next 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything.
And my wife and I were talking about this earlier today, because she was saying how she's really about female pop country, like the Kelsey Ballerina.
Yeah.
So I'm always just like going back and forth with her. But she was saying how one of her favorite singers was like complaining about how record labels only will go after like your following. They'll want to see how much reach you have. But I was telling her, I'm like, well, what do you do in Nashville when every single song that's being put out is written by 10 other people and nothing is really unique? what does a record label do other than say like, well, how much money can you bring us
Right.
from like your following? Because like nothing's really breaking out like right now. It's all the same, in my opinion.
Record labels are just they're hooking up their little engine to a bigger engine, which is the celebrity of a person. So
Yeah.
you go out and do all the work, you get the fan base, and then the record label's like, I can make some money off of that.
Yeah.
So then they're like, hey, let's sign you, and then they take all your rights to your music,
Hmm.
or they'll shelf your record if they sign somebody that's, in your same category, and they want that band more than they want you, but they want to put you on the shelf. It's just a
Yeah.
it's a nasty game, man.
Then
is.
they'll
Better
give
to be independent.
Yeah, then they'll give you a bunch of money as a loan, thinking that you're
Yeah.
thinking that it's helping them, like artist development. And then once the album sells, like, hey, we need all that money back.
Right.
And-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some bands back in the day that got in trouble with that, not understanding what an advance was.
Yeah.
Wait a second, we
Yeah.
have to pay that back.
yeah, and
Tell
then
someone that wants to give you money, say no.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I'll make my own.
There's a video I watched recently of the breakdown of Mariah Carey's Christmas albums and how she did like a settlement for like maybe 4 million, but now it's like Mariah Carey Christmas is every single year. It's all you hear. So now it's like worth maybe $1 billion, but since the record company
Right.
got her to sign that contract.
Why would you bring that up? I hate that song. Like,
Hey, Christmas, man. It's like
It's
5
coming.
months away.
you did a Christmas song, didn't
I
you?
did, yeah.
I love playing the Christmas song. That Bridge and Tunnel show that they put on at the town gate. It's like a variety.
Yeah, that's a great
Oh,
show.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so fun, and we played Christmas Bell the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's always fun. I like that tune a lot.
It's not like a traditional Christmas song.
Right.
It's more
Not at
like it's just got the name Christmas in it.
Uh-huh.
It's about a song about like new beginnings. Keep it at that.
The one thing with Christmas songs with me was like I always would just like procrastinate and then just grind the Christmas song the week up before the show, and then after that was over, I would just forget it until the next year. Those songs would just never
But-
stuck.
That fortunately, I've never had to perform any of them, but around Christmas time, I'm involved in a lot of nonprofits.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's like, can you play music? Can you DJ? Can you do whatever? And I just go ahead and Whamageddon everybody right away. 'Cause, they have the whole Whamageddon. As long as you don't hear that song from them at
Yeah.
Christmas time, you made it through. Well, every show I'm at, I'm like, just wait until there's a nice big crowd. Boom, I drop that song. Everybody's out.
I used to work in retail, and I remember during Christmas time, they had like there's 3 different versions of Last Christmas they would play on their playlist all day. It was just mind numbing. First it'd be Taylor Swift, and then I can't remember who else had the popular ones.
There's some good Christmas albums out there if you look though. Like
Yeah.
Bela Fleck and the Fleck Tents, the Christmas
Oh,
album.
my, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
There's
My-
like
my
Tibetan
favorite
folk
is,
singing on it and shit. It's like crazy.
Yeah, Mark. If you listen to Mark Broussard,
Yeah.
that's my favorite Christmas album. Mark's Mark's voice. I mean,
Yeah, he
are
can
you
sing.
familiar with Mark Broussard?
Yeah, not the Christmas album.
But yeah, I mean, you would if you had never seen a picture of him, you would just imagine like a guy in like a Stacey Adams suit with
Yeah.
a cap and
Yeah.
really nice shoes and not being a white boy.
Right.
Definitely.
Mark Broussard can belt it, man. That's
Oh, he
that's my
definitely
favorite
can.
Christmas album.
Yeah,
on,
that's a
man.
good one too.
Bob Dylan Christmas album.
That was wild. Did
Yeah.
you ever see the videos in that one too?
Yeah. Must be Santa.
Yeah, that
That's
was
a great
crazy,
video.
man.
Yeah,
There was a lot of cameos in that video
yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's a good album.
I have that album too. He actually didn't Bob do 2 Christmas albums? I think he did. I
Did
think
he?
it 2 years in a row he did
Really?
Christmas albums. Yeah.
Really?
And he's not Christian. Which makes
No, I
me
think-
better.
Yeah. Who knows what Bob is? He's a yeah.
He's out there.
Yeah.
So, with all the years playing music in the Valley, where do you consider home? Of all the places you played, yeah. If it's standing now or if it's in the past, like what was your favorite place around here to play?
I don't know, man. That's a hard. Down on Main Street just had a vibe to it. You'd go down there and play and like not even expect to get paid.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, whatever, man. What do you got? Pay us whatever you want. It was a fun place to kind of be. It was kind of a hangout for everybody. Everybody you would see people that you typically wouldn't see other places or whatever, just because it was. I guess that was home for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And Dickie, I don't know. Had you ever been there?
No,
man. Oh, Dickie was great.
Yeah, I caught the
mean-
tail end of it.
Yeah.
They had a great jam night.
Yeah, great jam.
They had a
night.
great jam night for
Did like
the
2
longest
nights.
time. Yeah.
Wednesday and
It was
Thursday.
great.
Yeah.
I come home from the ships for vacation and stuff. And everybody, we're going on Wednesday. I'm going jam night. Are you jamming? No, I'm just going up to party.
I mean, you could like you could sit in and listen to the music, or you could go out on the patio
Yeah.
and just hang out and talk to people all night, and you could be there till like 5 in the morning.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
a lot of fun.
I wanted to ask you, Tim.
Oh god.
Did you mention when you're on the ships? How true is Poop Cruise?
How true is Poop Cruise?
How
We'll do an episode about that sometime. Poop Cruise. We'll talk about the Poop Cruise. It's true.
Yeah.
So the little redheaded girl you see in there, the cruise director Jen is a good friend of mine. I can tell you tons and tons and tons of stories about the Poop Cruise and all the animosity I created after the Poop Cruise too, because that ship sat for many months until it was fixed. So we could talk about. We could do a whole episode on that.
Yeah, we need a deep dive into the Poop Cruise.
I don't think I want to know anything.
I was just gonna say,
So there's a cruise ship, Carnival Triumph. It's out at sea, and in the middle of the night, fire happens in the engine room, and it goes up through. It starts burning up the cables, everything else. The ship becomes stuck in the water. It's dead. At the time, there was no government mandated regulations from Coast Guard or whatever to have an alternate diesel generator. So the ship's just out there with a list, bobbing along in the water, with minimal services, no elevators. The toilets on the ships are an evac system, so you push a button, it has to have power to suck the vacuum. So hence it came to the Poop Cruise, because the ship sat in the water and bounced for 5 days. And they decided that, well, we got a problem here. So we're delivering red bags to your cabin. Feel free to let number 1 down the drain of your shower and number 2 into the red bag and put it outside in the bin.
Wow.
and
who had to collect those bins?
Oh well, they tried to make the entertainment department undo them in the Morrison area, because they were expanding, right? And they wanted the entertainment department to come down, and because the entertainment didn't have anything to do, so they're like, oh, you can just undo them and dump them in the thing.
Get the drummer to do
They
it.
told my buddy Costi, who was the manager on the ship at the time. He's a good friend of mine. Costi's like, they kept talking, I kept walking. He's like, they followed me up like 4 flights of stairs. So yeah, I was there.
Crazy story.
Man.
Oh yeah, the ship stories I could tell are crazy.
Yeah,
What I'd love to do, and I've talked about it before at length with Monar. I'd love to somehow, there's a ship out of Baltimore. I'd love somehow to start a wheeling or just a High Valley area music cruise, like where we just go out for the week. We started off small, but then we get it so big that like we take over the whole ship.
Yeah.
I think that would be just so much fun, because all the different artists we could have and all the different lounges, like you can play all over the ship and run our own production and do stuff. I'd love to do that
That's
someday.
great.
That's been an idea and a dream of mine. I need like someone like, Rich Investments maybe, or Uniglobe, Bill Bryson or something. But man, I think if you'd start out small, 500 people, get a nice, you gotta go work with a travel agent and get a nice rate and everything. Mm-hmm. But I think people in our valley would just be like, we're going.
Yeah.
As long as the band doesn't have to clean toilets or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as long as that's not going to happen. Exactly.
We'll put that in like our
Rider.
rider.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I only want the red M&Ms and no poop.
Yeah.
There was that one ship that was going up and down the river the past couple weeks.
The American Cruise Line,
Yeah, I was.
I would like to reach out to them. I've been actively seeking through some people that I know, and I don't know if you know, it stopped at Moundsville for a while. Now it doesn't. That's another story. But I know some people, and I'm trying to figure out when they're in. What's a possibility of doing some of our local entertainment on there? I can drag a sound system on, I can drag a band on, I can do whatever.
Yeah.
And heck, even if we just sail with the vessel from Wheeling to Pittsburgh or whatever, we can get off and get ourselves back or whatever, but be the evening's entertainment on the ship. I think they might like that.
I think so too.
I don't know what it's like on a cruise ship. I'm sure it's pretty steady, but I remember playing Lou's Landing.
Oh yeah, Lou's Landing. I forgot about that.
And there was another one down in South Wheeling. What was that one called? Anyway, we were playing.
My mom was just talking about this. Yeah,
what was that?
Photo friend.
We were playing that, man, and you'd be playing. Your eyes were closed. You're getting into it. Next thing you know, you're like swaying.
Yeah.
The barge went down the river.
There's a little floating
it's a lot
dock
of fun experience.
up at Ogleby. I played like a 4th of July, and it was on like a little floating dock on Shank Lake, I think.
Yeah.
And it was sucked.
Yeah.
I remember Canterbury had something on the river maybe 5 years ago, but he was on a pretty tiny pontoon boat. I remember that he set up Bruce Cooey and Jeff Higgins was playing with them, and Coo has this gigantic rack, dude.
Rack top on
the pontoon.
On the pontoon, yeah. And then they had all their friends like park around them. I just remember thinking, man, they're really loading in this
Gotta
pontoon.
take your Dramamine, man.
Yeah. So, Adrian, I asked this, and Logan, I asked this to every musician that comes in here. When you're done with the show and you have the munchies, where's the place in the High Valley you're getting some grub?
My fridge, man.
Yeah.
that's
Many nights with Trailer
yeah.
Park Pizza in the fridge. Like whatever red stuff was in there, and whatever bread I had, and whatever cheese.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like my social battery gets like extinguished soon after like I play a show, so I like just going home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be you'd get home at like 5 in the morning.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
you get home at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
grab a
wild.
pizza or something on the
Right.
way.
Yeah, that's why I remember like before COVID it was just normal to be done at 1.
Yeah.
And just like now it's just COVID, it's like normally it's like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. start time.
Mhm.
It's just wild to think about that. And everybody's okay with it. Nobody really tried to make the switch back
Yeah,
and
and it's just like overnight. It
Yeah.
Well,
happened.
it's
crazy.
because what happened with the whole social distancing and everything, and then they said, "Hey, we're going to open up the bars, but you can't walk around the bar, and you got to sit away from each other, and you whatever." And the bar's only open until 10, and you got to be out of the bar. So everybody just came in and got it in them as fast as they could, and
Yeah.
went home. And everybody got used to going to bed early instead
Mhm.
of so everybody's circadian rhythm is back to
yeah.
lame.
Yep.
Yeah. Trying to bring everything back like Poda Cups, just trying to bring everything back now.
Right?
Bring the drugs back. And you'll be telling you, man. Legalize weed in West Virginia.
Oh,
That's all you need to do.
no doubt.
We
All
should
you
have
need
been
to
on
do.
like the forefront of that. Like combine that with like our outdoor tourism as a state. Like we should have been on that
Yeah.
from the beginning. We'd have a lot of tax money.
They legalize it in Ohio, but the problem is you got Bridgeport Ferry. I mean, it's not like I'm not sure you have like the nightlife
Right.
like Wheeling kind of has
Yeah,
the hub.
exactly.
Right.
You know,
But yeah, West Virginia. I mean, I don't know why they won't get the times. I mean, because in the summer it's been around here in those hills. It's perfect growing environment because it's. I'm telling you, there's days that I've been at home in Moundsville where it's just felt like I was the same as if I was in Jamaica. I mean,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
mugginess and the humidity and the hills and everything. So
hmm
one day West Virginia will get with the times. We can,
Yeah. The Blue Mountain.
right.
yeah.
Jabloom coffee. Yep.
Yeah. Now you think of all the, not like the main dispensaries, but now they have so many just head shops that have like the THCA now. It's just like almost every single block. If you go to Wintersville, every single block, if you go from Sunnyside and just drive down, it's Sunset, I think.
Yeah,
but
Sunset Boulevard, yeah.
every block is a smoke shop now. It's insane. And then they have another Sunnyside coming up right here at the bank.
Really?
They're putting in for next year. Going back to like you said, if West Virginia would legalize it, I'm sure that there would be a huge company, say like Sunnyside, that would sponsor like musical events and be the sponsor of like these festivals. And
yeah. The problem with that is don't let it get too corporate, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, keep
yeah.
it local. Keep the
Yep.
people involved.
It's
Yeah.
like a fine line when you know you need money to put on events, but you also
Yeah.
trying to stay out of that.
yeah.
Once you get
Corporate
city
bullshit.
governments involved and stuff, it's like turns real weird real
Yeah.
fast.
hmm There's a couple of my friends that try to do like different city festivals, and then they're hit with like, well, you have to hire this certain amount of cleanup workers, but they already worked a full week, so now you're paying them time and a half, and now you have to get this amount of security, you have to get this stuff, and to the point where they're like, screw it, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Find a friend with a bunch of land and throw a party.
That's what Billy Blaze did out the Harrison County.
B-Nizzle.
Was that the like the 420 thing?
Yeah,
The 710
the 710
I went
one.
to
Yeah.
that.
Did you go?
Oh,
I'd
did
never
you?
been out there, so
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was getting into. I was like, this is crazy.
It's
Like,
it's
so
insane.
many people.
It's insane, and there's so much more that's going to come out there. Like, B. Noel was just smiling ear to ear because he's going to kind of be pretty much running all the productions out there and everything. And they've been out there widening the road. They've been out there flattening more area. Like,
Really?
this next one that's coming up is the Cannabis Cup.
Yeah, in
And
September.
it's
Yeah.
a 3-day Cannabis Cup. Like, the first day is all like rock music, the second day is rap, and then the third day is a mix of everything. But yeah, they're out there preparing for it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be even bigger than the 710. And like you said, you just got to have a big piece of property.
Yeah, that's great. I'll definitely be back.
Because he's saying Belmont County changed their laws about a mass gathering laws, and they changed a lot of stuff up. So they went out to
Yeah, something about you can't have more. If you have more than 200 people, I think the county health
Yeah.
department has to come see your site. They have to make sure you have proper facilities. They have to make sure that you have like an exit plan and a security plan and this plan and that plan.
If you have 500 people, you needed 23 porta potties.
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
thinking that's not even a huge line. If everybody like had to go at the same time, that's not a big
you
line.
want to talk about porta potty disaster?
Yeah, let's
So-
do it.
You're on it, man.
we went to
Another
First poop cruise.
so the wife and I went to go see Gin Blossom Spin Doctors
Yeah.
and Blues Traveler up at Iron City Brewery. It's out in their field outside. We'd never been there. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. Took over an hour to get into the parking lot, you know. It took an hour and a half to get out from the parking lot. They sell it out. They sell 8,500 tickets, okay? 8,500 tickets. They had 12 porta johns, 3 beer tents, and 8 food trucks. It took a half hour to take a leak. Took 45 to an hour to get food, and it took about 20 minutes to get a beer. I mean, like, you talk about festival fail.
Is that a way to control? I'm sorry, I'm going to get real conspiracy theory. Is that a way to control the masses?
I don't know.
Honestly.
It was weird. That maybe keep them from
Like,
drinking
well,
too much.
yeah,
Or I don't know.
Don't let them drink too much. Get them, they'll stand in line to get their food, whatever. I mean, it's like
It seems like
you
somebody's
get a lot
playing
of
like
people
Roller
out
Coaster
there.
Tycoon, like above us or something, like trying to, you know what I mean, like
It's going to
programming
a
it all.
football game, and you've got to pay like $15 for a beer.
Yeah.
to get one
I
beer.
think that might be what God is. It's just a guy playing roller coaster tycoon. With all
It's
of us.
putting the right stores in the right places.
That's great. We're going to call that back anytime I'm on the show. We're going to talk about some kind of tycoon.
It's a little bit better than the Porta John situation at Jamboree in the Hills, because I've watched so many people in the front rows they would do this trick where they would pour beer down the front of their shirt and then pee themselves so it doesn't look like they come. I watched so many people do that so they didn't
Sounds like a joke.
so they didn't miss the first Big and Rich song. They're like, I'm not going to go down. Yeah.
It's like, guess what? The first Big and Rich song sounds like the last.
It
Big
sounds-
and Rich.
That's great.
Come
That's so
on,
true.
man.
That's so true.
Man. So you got Tower Power coming up.
I'm going to Tower Power.
I was gonna say, yeah.
September 12th. I can't wait. I've seen them a lot of times. There was a guy. The reason that I fell in love with Tower Power not only was from working on the cruise ships and having all those orchestras. Adolfo Acosta, the second trumpet, worked on cruise ships, and I know Adolfo. So
Oh, okay, that's cool.
That's cool.
So,
Yeah, Tower Power is fantastic.
they're an institution.
They've been doing it for a long time too.
Yeah, 50 some years.
Yeah.
50-some years.
That's nuts. How'd you get started, Adrian, with music?
Oh, I don't remember.
You don't
I just
remember? You
was
just-
born, man. I don't know. I mean, you're born and then you're like, my dad played, and my uncle was like, he played. They had a band, bluegrass band. But my uncle was like one of these guys that would record everything they did, So from the time I was can remember, there were 8-track tapes or whatever with their music on it. So just listen to it, and then I remember at 3 years old, I wanted a guitar.
Yeah.
So I remember that was my first memory, was going to get a guitar. 3 years old. I don't know, just who knows,
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you want to do this? It's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
You get to make crazy sounds, and I don't know, and create things, out of nothing.
So if that's a core memory, where'd you get the guitar from? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was Murphy's and Belair.
That
GC Murphy.
that had the big.
Belair.
I remember as a kid going to that one. It had,
Yeah,
didn't have.
remember
You
that?
go down the basement and they had like.
I think I remember
fish-
going up. I
maybe
was
it was
3 or something,
okay.
but I remember going up,
Okay.
and everything was real dark around, but this big stairwell. That's all I remember.
I remember my grandma
And
used
then
to
the
take me to all the Murphys because I remember there was the one up in Wheeling, and maybe
Yeah.
that was the one we went down the basement, and then the one you're
Maybe.
talking about might be the one with the
They
stairs.
were like Dollar Generals,
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Yeah.
They sold everything though.
Yeah.
Get your fish there, get a guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. Take your kid there.
So what
a good
kind of
time.
guitar was it that you got? Do you remember? Or?
Oh, it was a plastic Fender Stratocaster. I don't know. It was like a plastic piece of junk, But yeah, I just, I don't know. What's your first memory?
My first, music?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I decided I wanted to start participating in it was my brother was in punk bands back in maybe the early 2000s, and I would always tag along. He's 4 years older. I would always go to the shows with him, at Shelley's.
Yeah, Guy
He
Shelley's,
used to put
yeah.
on punk shows back in that time, and they were great.
Mhm.
There'd be it'd be filled with people. So that's how I got started. Like I was digging that, and yet I never really played punk music, and I can't play it very well now at all. But that was definitely what got me into it for sure.
My uncle brought me to another brother's show at the Capitol when I was like 6, and ever since then I was locked in.
Yeah,
I remember they were playing "Swinging" by John Anderson, and they were doing impressions, and they would point to each other, and every person would take turns doing an impression. And that was the first time, like, man, they were having so much fun on stage. Like, it doesn't seem like it's planned. And ever since then, I was locked in. I think I was playing like fall baseball at the time or something. And I was not. I was no longer playing that.
That's funny.
I have two solid memories of how I got locked in, and it's funny because I do a little bit of everything in the entertainment other than perform. I used to perform. My dad used to be the assistant basketball coach at Wheeling Park, and I was the ball boy for the JV team. And that's when they just started WPHP, the studio, and so the guys that were in that class were some of the first originals with Pat Clutter and everything else. And Dave Flatley took me in there and showed me everything I thought was the coolest thing ever. And the next thing I know, I'm at home with my Fisher Price record player, playing DJ on a Radio Shack microphone that'll come through the house through the stereo. You know what I mean? And so on Saturdays I would DJ for Mom and Dad as we cleaned the house.
That's
but
great.
My memory of when I decided I wanted to be a sound guy, it started called Pennzoil Carload Jam. As many people as you could shove in a car. It was like $10 or $20. And you got in, and so we meet somewhere. We park cars somewhere weird. My uncle's there with us, and a bunch of other people at the coaching staff from Brook High School, and some of my dad's friends, and they took me and my brother along. But I'll never forget the lineup was John Kane Steppenwolf. It was America. It was Kansas. Three Dog Night. Dave Mason and Lightfoot. And I was hooked after that. From when Steppenwolf did Born to Be Wild, I was I want to be a sound guy.
Yeah.
I think I was 10 years old, and I knew I was going to work in production.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's cool. Seeing that play and then not going right after. I want to be that rock star on stage. When I want to do the production, because it's so interesting when you do go to concerts and just see all the working pieces and put it together.
When we sat behind the soundboard, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I was just that guy's in control of everything.
Yeah, that's true. He is. Always thank the sound guy.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's in total control.
Yeah, because they can make your show.
Yeah.
We don't have a suck button on the board. I always wish there was a talent button sometimes. And sometimes I wish there was an eject button.
And then, what kind of systems were you using back then?
Oh, back then when I was 10 years old, I didn't really have a system. So my Uncle Kevin gave me an old Onkyo stereo. That's where I found 8 tracks. That's where I found the Dead and Zeppelin and Ozzy and Black Sabbath and everything else. And then I remember I bought a pair of speakers at Ames department store. It was car speakers, but they were 12-inch bandpass box. And I had already figured out RCA connections and everything else. So I was using the RCA input into the Onkyo, and I'd gone down to Radio Shack and I bought me a little DJ mixer now, and I was able to put a microphone in. So that was what was they crappy speakers from? That's how it started. And then when I was DJing as a kid at 13, Dad took me over and went over and saw Roger and Timmy, and they bought me a PV system, and then I DJed all the way until I went to ships. I didn't really run sound. I just was a DJ.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I would have known you in high school. We could have
done some cool stuff. Right? We're still doing cool stuff now, though.
Yeah.
And then just to think of that technology compared to the array systems that you just got to plug in like it's a puzzle piece, and then that soundboard that you're sitting behind is now an iPad that you can just walk around the whole venue. And I never forget. I think Blake Moore was the first one to show me how he could get into his iPad and save our band as outside one. So anytime we played an outdoor stage and it was this so and so big, he can go outdoor one, and everything's mixed and ready to go and set up.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah.
I mean, look at how much it's changed for you guys. I mean, you use a modeler on the stage now. You don't even need an amplifier. It's
If I
crazy.
would have had the technology back in the 90s that we had today, just with my laptop now. It's a recording studio in my laptop. Dude, I could have put all those ideas down the way I wanted to then.
Right.
Instead of to a cassette tape just to find a recording studio to go into, to spend that kind of time that you wanted, to make an album was, you needed a record deal.
Yeah.
You needed it then, but now it's totally different. It's great. Freaking great.
They have programs where you can just hit a button that says, get rid of the white noise. And to think like you would need a studio completely just closed off with cell phone to get that same effect, but now you're just typing in AI. Like if there's a motorcycle that goes by, I'll just type in AI, hey, take this thing out, and it just works for you. It's so nuts.
What do you use to edit?
I use I use just GarageBand just as the raw audio, and then I'll put it into DaVinci Resolve, CapCut, and then I'll do like Opus to get like different clips and stuff. And mainly DaVinci Resolves, and then I'll do some like Adobe stuff. It just depends on like what kind of format.
Right.
This stuff is real easy because I can record the video from our mobile cameras and record an audio line. I just have to clean everything up.
Yeah, that's great.
And then the other podcasts that I do out of here, I can mix it. I'm usually, on the side mixing it with the earphones, so everything's good. I usually don't have to listen to it back, but with my show, I usually go back and make sure everything sounds crispy and all that good stuff. Do you have? So when you're writing and putting out music, do you always have like a goal of like putting out like every so often, or just like whenever it comes to you?
If I could do every year, that'd be great, but it hasn't worked out that way.
Yeah.
Just because of motivational stuff and life stuff, and the fact that it's really hard to make a living at doing this at this level.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you had like the fan base, the people that wanted to come out and get the drugs and everything else, you had the fan base, you could do a lot more because it would free your schedule up,
Exactly.
obviously.
Yeah, that's a big deal. It's just the time.
Yeah. So right, like the last, for a while there, I was kind of doing like roughly every year, like 2008, and then 10, 11, and then like 14, like did a pretty nice span of like records in that era. And then 15, I did one. And then it was 5 years later, I released an album called Distant Skies. And I, did that from the confines of my basement or whatever during COVID by myself, mainly. And then this new record, we actually recorded the new record in 22, but it took 3 years to kind of get it out. So yeah, if you could do it every year, every day, every minute, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, life needs to happen too to get your experiences to have something to write too. So I mean,
I have a lot of dis-ease up here, so I have a lot of like things that I can write about.
Okay.
That are pretty nuts, and sometimes I gotta kind of like watch what I put out into the world. Like people are like, dude's whatever. Needs therapy.
Now, do you usually send it to somebody that like can go through with the filter?
Yeah. Logan will like, go over it a little bit.
I'm probably not the best sounding word there because I'm like, every song you write, I'm like, that's the best song I ever heard.
I appreciate that.
Before I knew Adrian, it was Supermoon. What was that, 2015-ish?
Yeah.
That's I really liked that record.
I
remember you guys playing down in Center Market, and I came and saw. It was great. And actually, Skylark, which was before Supermoon, my college band, we used to play it because I liked it, but this was before I met Adrian. So Josh Garrett had drummed with Adrian for a good bit, a great drummer, and I knew him, so that's how I saw you first, and then we started playing Skylark.
And I heard the Cherry Tree Trio do that song, and I was like, damn, that's really good. Like, you guys should have just done that song, and I should have just not, because that was really great.
That's it wouldn't have worked out that way.
As far as stage setup, you guys rolling with tracks? Do you use like a modeler? How do you go about?
The last time we cut at a friend's house to tape, and the eight track Tascam, and but previous things have been digitally, and I like the analog thing the best, and so I've been like acquiring gear. So my basement right now is I got 16 track machine down there, tape machine, and got some, found a nice 8-bus mixer actually at Sibs. I walk into Sibs, there's a freaking 8-bus in there. Like, I'll take that.
I would expect them to have electronic gear. That's awesome.
Yeah, so just kind of been building, slowly, quietly building a studio for the next project,
That's cool.
which is good. Hopefully, will carry us into the next
Right.
however many years, making some music on that
Yeah.
equipment.
That was my first experience with analog recording, was in 22 when Jay Demko, he's on Chaplin Street. It was his machine. So we didn't really know him because he had just moved to town, but we had heard, I think Matt, I don't know.
Glennis Board and them, they're friends. They're all friends. And her and her husband were telling me about Jay, I think.
Right. And
then I ran into Jay in Center Market one day, and he's like, "Hey, I got a little studio happening." I was like, "Hey, come check it out," So we went over, me and Logan went over, and we're like, "Can we just do some recording here?" He's like, "Sure, man." And then, I don't know, 3 days later, we had an album.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah.
It was the most fun I ever had making a record, for sure.
Yeah.
And definitely wants me to do more analog stuff, with your 16 tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
I also like the confines and restrictions you have, especially with that 8-track, only having 8 tracks, because you make an album digitally nowadays, you can have, as long as you have a good processor, you can have hundreds of tracks. So I don't know, it kind of makes the decision, you have to commit to your decisions, I think, earlier, which kind of helps move things along.
Yeah. It's like the old school, like Zeppelin, Beatles. I mean, you had 2 mics on the drums, 2 channels. You had 4 mics on the drums, but 2
You know what you're doing. You had to have the engineer had to know what he was doing and how to get it just right. Yeah.
Revolver, it was a 2 mic drums, but they pre-mixed it down to 1 track.
Yeah.
So and those drums sound great on those records. It's crazy.
Oh, they sound amazing. I mean, everyone wants to sound like
I know.
that. Yeah.
Bonzo's mantra, they put him at the end of a hallway. And strategically placed mics down the hallway, and that's how they got the sound for that. Like when you go back and listen to that, that's where they came from, and then they would just mix the mics in. It's like Pink Floyd, Us and Them. They took the tape. There was no delay back then. There was no way to create the us and them. So they recorded it, having them sing it, and put it on tape, and then put machines all across. So then it just ran around on the machines, and they had a microphone recording it, playing us, and them.
Yeah.
That was the analog way.
Yeah.
And the flange pedal. Flange pedal, right? From the flange pedal was big in the late 80s, right? Anyway, before that, it was like flange means like you took, when the tape was turning, you were like messing with the tape to get that sound, So they were just inventing all kinds of new things, and that's a beautiful era of music in general. But the technology-based stuff was like insane. Yeah, even better than the music.
Oh yeah, I mean, but like being a drummer, the value of a good gate on your drums, especially in a live situation. Do you know how gates were created? The sound engineers were tired of the Grateful Dead walking away from their microphones, and they would turn them off, and then they go up to talk, and it wasn't. So they basically just made a contact on the mats, so when they'd step on the rug, it would turn their mic on and off. That's so cool. They would step off a certain area, and they would turn the mic off, and then they would step back on and turn it on.
Wow,
and then
clever.
and then that created the idea for gates.
Wow,
that's cool.
That's wild.
Those guys were crazy back then. They were just
There's a page I follow. It's like how songs are made, and they'll take you through like recording studios back in the day. And one of the last ones I saw was Steven Tyler talking about recording Sweet Emotion, and he said like at the first part you hear it and he's like, that was just a sugar packet I put in front of a microphone. Or they had that's right at the beginning, it goes like like something like that, but he's like hitting a wooden rod and it broke, and he's like, we just added it in there. And just to think of like how you record with that 8-track, like keep it pure. Because I was watching a video where that singer, that's Sabrina Carpenter, and they're showing his computer of the newest single he had, and there was like 50 different tracks in the song, and he says there's a 50-piece violin section we wrote for this, and we put it at a decibel level that's right underneath the human ear, so you're getting it subconsciously. I'm like, is this necessary? And you go back to think of Zeppelin recording, like say in the evening, just one track, just let's just start, guys, and this goes right into that. But it's just to think of like all the stuff that the highest echelon are doing, just to kind of like trick you into thinking this is the best music.
Right.
And
it's almost like, am I listening to music anymore?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
It seems a little manipulative to me.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Yeah, perfect.
Like an audio algorithm or something that they
Yeah, I
just
hate
want to.
algorithms in art.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not my cup of tea.
And I saw a recent video where they were they had a natural writing room and they were writing the "I Had Some Help," and that would have been is it Post Malone, one of the somebody's new single, and they brought in Tyler Childers to come in writing, and he said that he was sitting down. And the conversation was more of like, what phrases can we use to hit the most amount of people? Like almost like an AI session. He just walked right out. He's like, "This isn't how you write music."
Yeah, he just released a new record. I didn't hear it yet.
I heard is a lot different than his
Really?
past stuff. Yeah.
I don't like when bands just release the same album for 10 years.
Nope.
You know?
It's boring.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler got sober. And I think his whole
Yeah, I
music
did
stream.
read
I
an
know he
article
doesn't.
about that, yeah.
I know he doesn't do Feathered Indians anymore or stuff like that.
Good tunes, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
growth is.
I kind of missed out on all that. Tyler Childers, Sturgill Simpson stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
man,
anything about any of that.
Wow. I was heavy deep into all that stuff. I still am still listen to all of it. I was listening to Vincent Neil Emerson on the way in. I was listening to Roadrunner, but yeah, I was into all that. I don't know why. It was like, to me, it was like a new age outlaw country music was coming out at the time. There was a lot of good guys that came out through it. And there's a lot of guys that aren't really in that I found that I like even better. So,
It's weird. Like a lot of guys that went in for that era are now playing completely different music than when they started. I don't know. Yeah. I know Tyler Childers is the one. Sturgill Simpson kind of stayed the same throughout with his sound, but
yeah, we went and saw Tyler and was it a year ago or so? Yeah, a little bit over a year and a half ago. It was some festival down south in West Virginia. And he played Greatest Story Ever Told by the Grateful Dead. And I was like, that's not the Tyler Childers I used to know, but I love the Dead. So
Right.
I was like, what is going on here? So he's definitely changed. It's good to see him cleaned up because he was a mess.
yeah.
I
was a
heard
mess.
some stories that, yeah, it's concerning.
Did you guys see Ozzy's that last tribute concert they did?
It's on a gig. I
Back to
haven't
the
seen any
beginning.
of it. I've seen clips.
Yeah,
But,
I haven't either.
I really want to find like a nice produced like live album of that. That's what I love. Is when my dad and I, the biggest thing with music was like live DVDs. You get at Sam Goody. That was our biggest thing. Like getting like AC/DC live at Donington, just taking it home and watching it. That's like that was our biggest thing.
When I got the news, the wife texted me and I was somewhere and then I didn't want to believe it.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm a huge Ozzy fan. We go back to that story me talk about my uncle giving me the stereo. So in those 8 tracks was We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll. And I just thought that like War Pigs was one of the coolest things
Yeah.
ever. And then Blizzard of Oz was in there. So here I am at 10 years old, 36 years ago, I was an Ozzy fan. So when I found out that he had passed, and I was given CDs for Christmas for mom and dad of Ozzy and everything. I was like, oh, do you think mom and dad would be like, oh no, they did it. And but I did cry a fair few physical tears. It felt to me it was the same as whenever I found out Jerry Garcia died when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was just 30 years later, and it was kind of heart wrenching to see some of the stuff that came out through it. But I thought it was so cool. Did you guys watch the funeral procession?
Yeah.
Had a second line. I mean,
Oh,
come
I
on.
didn't know that.
He had a second line, and they're playing Ozzy and Sabbath tunes coming down, walking through, and I'm
That's
like,
cool.
that's awesome.
That is cool.
I saw a little clip of like his wife and daughter, son, whatever, and they got out of the car and they put flowers. I thought it was the weirdest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Well, she looked like she was gonna fall over. It was
I mean,
terrible.
just all these people around in her like worst moment.
yeah,
You know?
screaming,
And
cheering.
they're-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, man, what does this world kind of come to? You know, like, is that the culmination of the whole like reality show and the whole thing,
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Ozzy was, it's everything to so many people, but at the same time, it's like he was that to them, and
Yeah.
it just seemed so out of place. To me
Right,
for them,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Can we not act like he's a reality star for a moment? And it's
he's
like
a
our dad.
person, and they're people, and
Right.
experiencing.
Yeah, they should have gave him a moment of silence while they were doing that. As opposed to just
There you go.
Yeah.
It was that was weird. That bit was weird.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah. I two of my guitar teachers growing up at CA House were heavy into Ozzy. So that's I would
Roger
look.
Horde?
No, not Roger.
I would love to hear Roger do that. But I don't
Oh,
know.
could.
oh, he
He
could,
could
yeah.
play anything.
Oh, yeah. But
Randy Rhoads, he'd burn those things.
that's the main things I would learn is like Randy Rhoads licks, Zach Wild licks, and then my first professional gig was with a country band, and I immediately thought, oh, nobody cares if I can play Bark at the Moon note for note. So I had to relearn the whole music for me.
Who were your teachers?
I had Scott Reed was my starter. Then I had John Bowman. He plays with The Hollow now, and then Chris Chaplin, who was old buddy Jack.
I know Chris.
Yeah.
And I know Johnny B really well. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's awesome. You ought to bring them in here and Roger.
Oh, yeah.
Do a little reunion, you know?
That'd be cool, like an episode of like what's it, because they've been teaching forever. It's like what's like how are the decades different? Like
Right.
how are you teaching differently? What are the kids like into and or wanting to learn when they come in?
There you go. I just gave you an episode. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
out
it is.
the
That's a
mail.
good idea.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Because it definitely the teaching styles have had to adapt drastically.
Oh yeah.
Over the years, especially with COVID.
I can imagine like teaching during the 80s when all the kids were coming in with their hair up, like wanting to learn the Van Halens, and then going like to 90s where like now they're wanting grunge and
Yeah.
And are they going back to that? Are the kids like wanting to learn Eddie Van Halen?
yeah, what are they going after now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, I didn't really think about it, but you've talked about it before, Adrian, about like if you wanted to learn a song, you have to pick up the needle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
put
That's
it
hard.
back,
Yeah.
and then listen to it. It's not just like rewind, by the push of a button.
learned
It's
how to-
crazy.
I learned Jimi Hendrix songs from a record.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So you'd hum it out, yeah, whatever, and then you'd find it, and it took, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like now, but then tabs kind of came in when I was in
Yeah.
high school, and
Yeah.
and that never made sense to me. Some like numbers and what is this?
Yeah.
Tab, I remember it was difficult because I played guitar. I haven't picked one up in probably 10 years, but tab was weird.
It is.
Because I was taking lessons over at CA House myself, and I was just like, then you'd pick up the tab, and you're like, and it was in all the Guitar World magazines and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
get the free CD and the tab, and then I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd just stand there and stare at it and be like, I don't understand. It wasn't thought that way to play.
Yeah.
If you're starting with tab and don't really know what you're doing, tabs don't really give you a good idea of like what chords you're playing over. Because if you're looking at the straight number line, you would think like your hands have to be going everywhere, but really you're just playing over a D minor chord, and that shape doesn't really need to change, but it doesn't really tell you that with the numbers.
I think that stuff like tab is like an effective way to learn something quick, like that you just have to play
Like a
country
little
roads
part.
at a gig to
It's a-
please somebody,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, I look up the tab.
It's
and-
Cliff's Notes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff are you playing these days? Are you still?
I kind of went back to like what I started playing when I first started falling in love with music, and that's like CCR, AC/DC, Ozzy, just classic to that. Not really 80s hair metal, but more of like the harder metal, like of Ozzy. I love like Pantera and Metallica and all that stuff, but then like CCR, Beatles, Rolling Stones, I'll just go back and forth. I have a 1968 Fender reissue tube amp, and I'll play my Les Paul through that. So it gives me a real nice, dirty sound that I can play kind of like whatever my interests are.
Yeah,
I can play like a heavier CCR, but then I can just switch and play an Aussie song that seems a little bit lighter than what it should be. But the range, I can hit everything.
Oh, that's great. What kind of amp is it?
It's a Fender Super Reverb Deluxe.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
1968 reissue.
Sweet.
Yeah. Roger hooked me up
Borrow
with
that sometime.
Right?
Roger hooked me up at CA House because I played main stage jamboree with a Marshall stack and a Dimebag Daryl Razorback. I didn't
yes.
have any other guitars to
He's like, come on
play.
in, man.
I got into this. I got into the band, started learning country music, and I was like, well, I'm just not going to play Jamboree in the Hills because I only have metal gear. I went up there. I remember Bill Graham was just like, "What are you doing? Like, what is this?"
That's kind of badass. though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I ran into Joe Carr like decades later. He was like, "Weren't you the guy that played like a beefy rich on like Jamboree Hills?" So I'm like, yeah, it was a Razorback, but yeah, that was me. Yeah,
Unforgettable. Man.
yeah. Yeah, then Doug Boston was managing us at the time. He brought me in to see a house the next week. He's like, "We got to change some stuff up."
I don't know. That could have worked for you like long term. man.
Yeah,
Could've been-
yeah.
Aren't you the guy?
Aren't you the guy with the BC original? That felt good. Yeah, that was me. Do you use a modeler when you play out live?
No, I have an old Music Man amp.
Oh, okay, cool.
130. It's like Leo Fender when he left Fender, and he just, he built the Music Man company, and he
Right.
basically competed against Fender.
Mhm.
And he made amazing stuff.
Yeah.
It still works today really well. And the Music Man stuff is like so good because you can find it so much cheaper than the Fender stuff.
Yeah.
Like $500, you can get a nice, really nice amp.
Yeah.
Whereas like the same amp Fender style is like $2,000. So
Yeah. I got that Fender amp when orange amps were real popular. Everybody had an orange and everybody had a Black Star.
yeah,
And I remember like the bro country, like Luke Bryan type bands. I remember talking to people at Jamboree, and all of them would use Black Star amps and crank the tubes up to the point where they were so hot they were almost like melting. They didn't care about like the cost of replacing it. He's like, we're just going to just destroy these things just to get that sound we want to.
yeah. The Music Man are cool because they're like a hybrid amp.
Yeah,
So it's got like a solid state. It's got like a tube preamp and then the solid state.
that's
amp.
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Super clean, loud,
Hmm.
warm.
And how many pieces are in your full band when you guys
Me,
go out?
Logan, drums and bass.
Okay, three piece.
Scott's had a tea time today.
Like it'd be great to talk music, Scott. Is
got
it
it.
no tea time?
Tea time.
But the cool thing about Scott plays bass. Scott Harkness. If you know Scott Harkness, this dude is so like knowledgeable about so many things.
Yeah, he's
He
a
would've been
very
great to have here
interesting
'cause
person. Yeah,
He can talk about anything.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's like kind of an enigma too. Like I feel like I don't know.
Just a
Good
great
dude.
guy. Great guy to be around.
Yeah.
And how
Really
long
good
have
band.
how long have you been involved with the band playing?
5 or so years.
5 or so
probably.
years.
I mean, we've been playing like pre-COVID.
That's
and-
true. Yeah.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were doing, I think that when we started playing regularly, was it like the stuff with Robbie? Was that
Yeah, we did some stuff with Robbie
Yeah.
Parsons.
Yeah.
like
Pops.
Matt Smith played some gigs? And
Yeah.
then I think from there it went, then I started playing like your original stuff more often, I think, after that.
Yeah. Robbie would call me up and be like, "Hey, I got this. We're gonna do a Bob Dylan tribute thing or whatever. You want to do?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I was like, and so I'd bring my lyric book out because Bob Dylan's got like eight verses. I
Right.
always love Bob Dylan, but I can sing along to the records. And I know all the lyrics then, but like take the records away and like start whatever. So we put this book on a stand and just play Bob Dylan songs all night.
Yeah.
And it was freaking awesome.
It
Logan
was.
would play. And,
That's somebody you should bring in here and do an interview with. He's got a lot of good stories.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's the guy that put together the Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
The Back Home Fest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's the brains of Back Home, exactly.
Yeah.
So get him in sometime next
Yeah.
year before Back Home. Get him in for sure. We got enough people that know him.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what I wanted to bring up and I completely forgot was the snake incident at Old Washington. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
Tim saved the day for that Old Washington Music
I
Festival.
wouldn't say I saved the day. I would just say that I talked to Doug Boston. So it's Friday, and so Doug Boston is helping Johnny O with the remote truck to get everything out onto Big Willie. And it's Friday, and I'm driving somewhere, and my phone rings, and it's Doug, and he's like, "Hey, you wouldn't happen to be able to get I can't even remember how many channels split snake, would you?" And I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, we need a 58, 64, whatever, however many channel split snake it was." And I said, "Yeah, I can get you one." I said, "It's probably gonna be about 3 hours away. It's up in Tarrenton, PA." And I said, "Wait a second, aren't you supposed to be? Why aren't you on the radio? What's going on?" Well, I guess Thursday night it poured down rain, and in however, someone drove over the snake and cut the snake to the main stage to the front of house.
Where was that?
The Old Washington Music Festival.
Oh, okay.
And so Doug calls me. He says, "Well, I'm going to call Bill Graham, see if Bill's got one." I said, "Well, I'll call my people, but I know for sure they have one, Doug." I said, because they used to do production for me on the cruise ships. So guarantee I can get it. It's up in Terra. I call, they can get it. They're like, "Yeah, but we got to drive it down, whatever." And Doug's like, "Oh, yeah, well, they found one. Their company can get one, but they'll have it in 4 hours." And I'm like, "Well, my guys tell me 3. And he's like, "Well, Bill has whatever, but Bill's whatever. And, it's out of my property, and that's going to take." I said, "Doug," I said, "Do you have people in your audience? Someone's going to show up with a snake and they're just going to run the snake out into the house?" And he's like, that's a pretty bad idea. And Doug's not even doing production; he's just trying to help. And I was like, just tell him to put the soundboard on the side of the stage, and the poor sound guy's gonna have to walk in. like at the office lounge and go listen. So that's what they did. He called me. He says, "You're not going to believe they're going to do that." He says they're actually going to put the soundboard on the side. They were already kind of talking about that. And I said, well, that happened to me on a cruise ship for, I can't remember what charter I was doing. I was doing a big giant music fest, and someone killed our snake, and we had the console right next to the artist, and the artists were like, "This is bizarre." And I'm like, but like I told him, I said, nowadays you could put the Wi-Fi on and get the app, but if you're doing analog, you're screwed. So,
It was wild when you told me. I was like, it's 2025, and
Right.
we're talking about a run over a snake.
Yeah, and the funniest part was, so I was like, he says, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be good, whatever." And I would leave it on in the car because he was always asking questions. What's it sound like? What's it sound like? I called him and I'm like, "Hey Doug, what's going on with the feed? Because I can hear people dropping F-bombs and there's an argument, whatever." He said, "Well, they put a microphone in front of the speaker." They come out and put an SM58 on a boom stand in front of the line array. And he sends me a picture of it. And he says, "And then the sheriff moved it for some reason." I'm like, "Well, I can hear everything." I said, "See, did they move that microphone back, dude?" I said, "Or just kill the broadcast because you're going to get fined."
I played a dirt track at Mansfield, and it was the same thing. We had it from the front of the house. We had a big snake going to it was a big trailer I used for the Nextel Cup, but during the race, a rock flew out of a wheel well of a car, and it shattered the unshatterable glass that was in the press box. So there was glass raining down on people. And as like the ambulances are coming to like assess the situation, I'm like aiming these ramps so they can like drive over the snake so we don't break it. They're like coming at me full speed, and I'm just trying to line up these tires.
Like throwing down one of those tires.
Yeah.
That's funny. But
Did you get hazard
those,
pay for that?
No.
they make those foldable conduit things that put on snakes.
Yeah. So I don't know how it happened or whatever.
Yeah.
So like if you look at any of the pictures on like Friday and Saturday, like everybody likes to have those pictures of them up front. There's just this mound of snake just like, Tin will put up some pictures, and I was like, "Well, there's the snake."
Rename that Snake Fest. Remember when they started doing all the live stuff at bars, and there would ultimately be like a microphone, just kind of like a live feed microphone right there, and you'd be talking, and you'd be like, "Holy shit!" Everything I said just
went out.
broadcast over Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that started down in Key West. That was where the trend, that Key West, Austin, and somewhere else that was like, and then everybody had to have the camera in their bar. It's like,
Right.
Watch live. Who the heck wants to watch Jimbo that's 12 beers deep get up sing, some Hank Williams song, butcher it,
Oh,
but sure,
man.
it's live.
Big Brother, man, went.
I think Yon put the same cameras up at the hall for their lives that they put like in the rafters.
They have 3 of them, yeah.
3 of them, yeah. Yeah, he was because I got a hold of him because I was like, how they do that? Because I know they were wireless, and I never like when I walked in, I never really noticed like a camera rig. He's like, yeah, these little Mevo
Yeah, those
starts. you
Mevos
can-
are fantastic. I've installed some in a couple churches because it's real easy for these little cameras that he's using. It's app based, so like at a church, you just set them where they want them, and they can aim them, and then someone can just sit in the service and just.
Yeah,
have your iPad
I'm like
out,
I'm
change
doing
between-
I'm doing live camera cuts right now. Like when you're talking, I'll cut to the backdrop.
Yeah,
and
that's interesting.
Mhm.
That's cool.
It goes right to my phone. That way I can just airdrop to my laptop and just do my editing.
I guess I
great.
didn't realize we were being filmed.
Yeah, when the red light came on that one, that's when it was on you. And
Oh, okay. I'm like a nervous. No, I don't know.
it's not
I
live
like
though.
seeing myself.
No, it's not
That's
live.
good.
It's not
I hate
live.
seeing myself on film. I don't make music videos.
You did for the
CapCut, right? Is that what you used for the Black Cadillac?
CapCut is great, man.
Yeah.
I've never tried it, but having you say it, and
Yeah.
he's made stuff that I'm
I've
like,
done a
wow.
lot on it. It's awesome.
But yeah, like before I started like with like this kind of production, it was just music, not even like really like audio recording production. But like that CapCut helped me like with my baby steps to learn like what all that stuff does.
Yeah, I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty
The
easy
stuff
to
you
use
make on
too,
there is
like-
great.
And then like say if I was making like a 2-minute clip or something out of this episode, you can just hit caption and it'll just write the captions for you. And
You're the one that got me on CapCut whenever I was running
Yeah.
roster radio. And
yeah, and just like the white noise,
amazing.
the white noise, you can hit noise reduce, and then all that little white noise that you would need to like pay like a professional studio for in the past. Like it just cleans that up for you. And like I said before, like when we have motorcycles or something, I can just type in, just take that out, and yeah.
Now, I thought you did a great job with the with the 1984 Black Cadillac limousine video because, like, I like that type of art form.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a cat that I know pretty well because my buddy used to be a store manager, Bob Schneider out of Austin, Texas. His videos are like that. He does all this, like, so I was like, man, I was like, yes,
cool.
somebody else that has art form that I like. It's like it's not just
cool.
your standard like MTV. This is what you have to watch. And I love the fact that you made it like the way you made the ratio format and everything. I wanted to like be back home and have like that old Zenith console TV in the house. You know what I mean? And, like put it on channel 26, which would have been MTV. You know?
Right.
It's like so cool. It's a very cool video.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was fitting, like because the the story of that song is. It's a storytelling song, in a way.
Tim gave me you gave me the can I get that?
I'll show it to
Yeah.
I'll grab it. You gotta see this, Razor. This is really cool.
The song started out.
I collect Cadillac. And it's,
Oh, you mentioned this to me. I didn't get to see it.
The song started out, I was driving through Shadyside, Ohio there, down there. And everyone knows where Shadyside is. Anyway, but I saw this old black Cadillac limousine. That's badass, man. It was like somebody's work car. You know? And
I'll take a picture and I'll edit it in. That's cool.
So I just thought like that would make it. Wonder what that car's been through, you know?
Right.
So you just kind of make up a story, but then once you write the song, you realize that that's a pretty common story, you know, just about like waiting. You know, you're living your best life, and then you know that big hit's coming.
It's like some paranoia. I interpret a little bit of paranoia in that song.
It's just it's just the anxiety of knowing that like one day none of this will be, you won't be in this realm anymore.
Right. One
day. So I equated it to like, obviously a black Cadillac limousine, like a hit job, like somebody's always after me, and I don't know, it sounds kind of stupid, but it made sense at the time.
It makes
But
sense.
when we recorded the song, there was a whole other verse, and because we were recording the tape, we were kind of getting towards the end of the roll, and we were like, I think we can make it. I think there's enough space on that roll to cut this last song. And so we cut the song, and then we looked up, and the tape had ended, and then we listened back, like, let's see where it got to. Let's see what happened there. And where the song cut off, where we lost tape, it was like the perfect freaking spot. And it was like the point where like the hit comes,
right?
So we just added some delay to that, and
I remember that listening back to that the first time.
I got it on tape. I got it
that's
on my
amazing.
phone.
Because it was
awesome.
just Jay, that
Right.
and it was just the three of us, and we were listening back. We didn't know where it was going to end.
Yeah.
Then it ended, and we just I think started laughing.
Well, when you're dealing in the analog world, you can't just like we couldn't bounce the track down to anything, So it's like I got my phone out and I'm like recording on voice memo the take so I can listen back to it at home or whatever. And then it ended right there, and we all just fucking went crazy. Like, that's fucking perfect. So I was able to capture that moment.
Yeah, it was great.
I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but to us it was.
It was great. There's stories behind music are what people want to hear and want to know. They want to understand. At least I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about you. You said what's his name went in there. It's like, nah, it's not for me. I don't want to be part of that because that's not a real song to me. That's just cookie cutter bullcrap.
Yeah.
This is how things work. This is how songs are. It's a backstory. So when someone, the delay, I know the story because I've heard you tell it a couple of times. But I know it's coming now. Like I was doing a live the other day, and I was playing your song in the background. I was like,
yeah,
because I know the delay's coming.
Yeah. When I heard that story about Tyler Childers in that room, I was just thinking like, it's to the point now where humans have to act like AI to get like this stuff like produced.
And that's the music I won't listen to.
Yeah.
It's this is proper roots rock. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, with this new record, I started been wanting to do this for years anyway, and I was like, it's the perfect time. Just a vinyl only record label, and right now it's just this record, it's just the one. But eventually, like to try to build it up. If this is if this record is successful and we can sell like the copies and everything, maybe then I can invest some money into another thing, but another project, hopefully. But just kind of staying out of the Spotify, all that kind of stuff realm. And you know, when I was a kid, man, you'd get your record, you'd hear the song on the radio, and then you were like, I want that. I want to buy that record. So you'd go buy the record, and you didn't have access to it. Nowadays, kids roll over out of bed and they're like, open that album. And Taylor Swift has every song on top 10 because they just roll over and tap the button. We had to go get shit, man.
Oh yeah, we had to go to National Record Bar, you know,
and find a ride to get it.
And then there were times that it wasn't a full record yet. It was just the EP, or it was only, you could only get it on the 45. You know what I mean? Like that's so when you did it. This was 180 gram you have, like it's like the best vinyl you can get.
That's the thickest quote. You know, it's
what it's all about. I still have my grandma's old record player at the house. My brother was living in my house for a while before he got married and everything else, and he had it redone for me. It's all tubes and everything else. That's what I listen to. That's what I listen to my music all day, and that's where all my vinyls go. And if I'm at a show and someone has a vinyl, I'm gonna if I have cash in my pocket, I'll buy the vinyl. You know, like because a lot of people are still on the cash system, which I wish everybody wouldn't be, but you know, hey, better that way because Uncle Sam. But so like that's that album is it's so cool that you did that, and the resurgence of vinyl right now is it's
and
there.
CDs too. CDs are kind of compact discs making a comeback too, just something physical.
Yeah, it's refreshing to see physical media like still hanging on, or even like
It's also cool to see bands like who was it? They're doing tours without Live Nation. They're doing smaller tours.
Oh, that's good stuff too.
All American Rejects did like a college tour without the help of Live Nation.
The All American Rejects want to do a dive bar, starting a dive bar thing. Did you see that Frizzy's trying to convince them to come to Riverside?
Oh man!
And if that happens, you know who's running production. So.
Oh man!
They'll probably come, man.
So if you look, Frizzy's always putting up on Riverside and everything else. He's always tagging All American Rejects.
Yeah,
that's why. He I think it was like last Sunday or something. He called me. I was sitting at the Avenue in Mounds, and he's like, "Hey, I got to talk to you." And he told me the whole thing, and he was like, "I just happened to comment on something they posted like within 5 minutes." He's like, "And they've already sent me stuff they want to do," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool."
Can you imagine like aiming a speaker to the water and marketing as to like boats can come up, like all the boat clubs come up, man.
But that's the way tours should be done. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, the monopolies of Live Nation, all that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what association they have with anything local, and I'm not.
They don't really. Live Nation's really not around here locally. I mean, look what they did to Jambo. They tanked Jambo. You know, they tanked Jambo instantly. So,
I mean, I can't. My wife took my daughter to Kelsey Ballerini for a Live Nation thing, and I was like, what was it? $112 for a ticket after like all the fees, and like most of that, probably like 65% of that money went because of like Live Nation fees and all that stuff you have to do. And
ticket prices are intense. Crazy.
But the one message we can get from this podcast is, keep it organic, keep it local, and bring back the drugs.
I'm telling you, man. Legalize weed in West Virginia, and
watch what happens.
Change things.
Well, Tim, Adrian, Logan, thank you guys for coming in.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We'll have to definitely do this soon. We'll grab Scotty when he doesn't have a tea time too.
We got a show coming up at Waterfront Hall.
Waterfront
Hall.
Hall.
Are like $10, I think.
Okay.
So that's a good ticket price.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's perfect. What, September 6th, Waterfront Hall. Nice.
Yeah.
I'll put a link at like the description, the top comment stuff they can get tickets for. Because Waterfront, they do their tickets offline, right? They go through
you can get them online. You can or you can get them day of, but I'd like to see it sell out before it.
Right.
I'd like to put you guys in that list of sellouts, and I think we can.
Yeah.
I've got an idea to market it. I think I have to be somewhere on the 6th, but I can do marketing like nobody's biz.
I appreciate all that, man.
Oh yeah, we'll put
You guys rock, man. It's.
Thanks.
When you guys came in and did the power trio the last time, I was like, whoa.
That's a power trio at the hall. Okay,
that's,
cool.
That's what we've been doing recently. It's really just
promoting this
trio.
record, trying to sell this record, and trying to play as many gigs as we can.
Right.
We just love playing. So.
And then your radio is adrianniles.com?
Well, that's the website.
The website.
You can get to add all my stuff there.
And then that radio will play your tunes throughout that, right?
Like a little radio thing.
Okay.
On there on the website.
And then Roots Rock Records.
Roots
Is it
Rock
.com?
Records. That's where we're selling them. That's where the record is like for sale online.
Okay.
RootsRockRecords.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, check it out, rootsrecords.com, September 6th. Check them out at the Waterfront Hall. Check out the top comment. You guys can get links to help us sell this out. Guys, thanks again for coming in, and we'll grab Scotty when he doesn't have a tea time for a future one.